Today we are going to be making rice bags. So this is the rice bag. You will need like 24 inches long by 6 inches wide fabric. And if you want to make it shorter, you can make it shorter. If you want it a little bit longer, like this one, you can make it longer too. And then you will need at least one pound bag of rice to fill per bag. Hello, I am Pam, and this is my channel, Made by Pam. Today is December 15th, 2021, day 15 of Vlogmas. So this morning, I'm going to try something new. My sister had seen some rice bags, like some like little neck rice bags that she had seen. She'd seen them in a Christmas market, so like a Christmas market, I guess, like a fundraiser type thing. I don't know. It was a market, so she had seen these rice bags, and it was in the booth sitting next to her because she was there for work selling pastries. And the person next to her was selling like crafts and stuff, so they were selling like rice bags and towels and a bunch of other stuff. So my nephew saw the rice bag because he was there with her, and he's like, "Oh, look at that, Mom, there's Seattle Seahawks and Denver Broncos," because my niece and my niece-in-law, so my niece is married, and one likes the Seattle Seahawks, the other likes the Denver Broncos. And so my sister had sent me a picture saying, "Hey, can you make this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can make that." And we'd actually talked on the phone too, and she had told me the approximate dimensions, that it was approximately 10 to 12 inches long. She wasn't exactly sure because she didn't have a ruler, but a good estimate. And then width was like 4 to 5 inches. So we're thinking maybe cut the fabric to like maybe 25 inches by like 6 inches, so that, well, I guess we don't need 6 inches, maybe 5.5 inches. We can do 5.5 inches by like let's see, by like 25 inches. That should be okay, right? But it'll be okay if it's a little bit longer. You just don't want it too wide sitting on the neck. So I have some Seattle Seahawks fabric, and I have some Denver Broncos fabric, and I have other fabrics too, but I figured these ones would be good to use. And so I think I'm going to make her 2 of each. And at that Christmas market, they were selling them for like $15 each. But they were filled with rice. You want to see a picture? I'll show you a picture. Okay. So there is a picture of the Denver Broncos one. And then here is one with the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. So I figured that shouldn't be too difficult to do. figure, why not? It'd probably even be better. Look at that. Well, I did that when I was making mask. Because I had made a lot of Seattle Seahawks mask. So maybe they won't be quite as long as they could be, but they will be just as wide. I just need to grab my other ruler. Okay, I have my other ruler, and it's a 6-inch ruler. It will make it so much easier cutting the strip. So I was straightening out that edge, and then I said about 5.5 inches. And I have to move this around a little bit. Guess you can't even see what I'm doing here. So I have my little notebook that I wrote the notes in when my sister had talked to me about it. Because you gotta keep notes. I have so many little notebooks laying around that I have used for various jotting down ideas and projects and just stuff, you know? I'd write down information and like my ideas of things. That looks like it's going to be wide enough. I'm going to make another set too and make it a little bit wider. And then this is 100% cotton. So I am also going to use 100% cotton thread. Just because rice bags do like to put them in the microwave. When I got this Broncos fabric, I got a couple of yards. Because you never know. This might be something that you needed to do with it. Well, mostly what I did with it, well, I think I got this one just in case I had another Broncos mask order. But then all of a sudden, mask orders dwindled. They weren't as requested, as highly requested. But I still do make lots of masks. Well, not as many as I used to, but I do make a fair share of masks. I think I need one of those like grip dot things for these rulers, just so that it grips onto the fabric and doesn't slide. Because that's what I find a lot of the time, is that while I'm cutting the fabric, it wants to shift. So I'll make a set of this Broncos fabric, and then I'll make a set of a different Broncos fabric. I'm gonna walk back to my tote, grab a different Broncos fabric, maybe a different Seahawks fabric too. Okay, so I have a tote that I keep all of my extra fabrics in. Well, all of my team fabrics. I have one that I put all the teams together. So I also have this Seattle Seahawks fabric. I have this one and I have this one. So I'm going to do a set out of this one also. Now maybe I should do a popcorn bag out of these two. You know, I could have a set and a rice bag for their necks, where they sit and watch the game, and then they can have popcorn as they're watching a movie. Kind of funny, huh? I have a cry kitty upstairs. He's crying because the door is closed. Because he wants to go upstairs. And he's stuck in the TV room upstairs. Because I'm in the basement. I'm downstairs. It's like my favorite place to be. You know, it is quite frustrating when the roller won't hold still. I'm gonna have to get some of those grip dots. But it just screwed up my cutting. Dang it. I am back. So we got this one cut, and then we will decide which one do I want to do. Maybe I'll do this Broncos one.
Make sure that's on this right. This way, just so that I can make sure. Like, put pressure on the roller. There we go. And then I was gonna make one of these ones too, a Dallas Cowboys one. I don't quite remember who likes the Dallas Cowboys, but it doesn't matter. Oh, and I was going to use my serger and serge the ends. Well, I'm not doing that now. Oh, you're asking why I'm not going to serge the ends? Well, the thing is serger thread I have is all polyester serger thread. I don't have 100% cotton serger thread. So that's just not happening. You know, if I could go on the other side of this table, I would. But there's a wall on the other side of this table. Alright. Fold those up in a minute. Alright. And then what I'm gonna do is basically trim this down the center, like fold it in half, and then cut it. I will use these handy dandy scissors here. There's one set. And then I can maneuver the scissors and hold the fabric at the same time. Seahawks is my daughter's favorite team. You know me, I don't have one. But my kids do, well, my daughter does. And my son also likes them. Alright.
I have that. I am going to take and stitch along each thing. So this is just going to stay folded. And then I'm going to flip it, but I'm going to sew along the seams, like the edges, and then I'm going to flip it, and then we sew down the center of the fabric after it's flipped, because then that creates a channel for the rice, and then you turn over the top and you stitch it, and it stitches it right in. So it seems like a fairly easy project to do. Look at my stack here and I'm like, wow. I'm going to make a whole stack of them. Oh, this Bronco's fabric wasn't quite as wide as the other. Well, these ones are just going to be like mini ones. These other ones are regular sizes. So fold it in half. Let's see. They're like 14 inches folded in half. And so the Broncos folded in half like 11 inches. So it'll be good. But she said about 10 to 12 inches. Well, this other Broncos one is also not quite as wide as the other fabrics. I'm gonna have to iron that so that seam stays flat. And we have the Cowboys. So I'm going to take all of these to my iron and iron them flat. Okay. So I ironed all of these. Oh, I know what I forgot. I grabbed a spare empty spool. All right. So if I wanted to serge the edges, I could. I do have enough cotton thread to do that, but I'm not gonna worry about it per se. So I have quite a nice collection of cotton thread. It's variegated cotton thread, but it's cotton thread. Stuff I got from I got some from Hobby Lobby when they were having their 50% off sale of their Sewology products. And I saw these variegated cotton threads. Well, I saw the variegated. At the time I didn't realize it 100% cotton. But I saw the variegated. So that's what I have there. And then I had ordered some variegated like cotton thread. So these are also 100% cotton, variegated, that are just a bunch of different variation colors, you know, which is nice. I like when I think ahead like that. So I'm thinking for the Cowboys, this one would look good for that one. So for the Cowboys, we'll do that. For the Broncos, yeah, that blue variegated will work. You know, even for the Seahawks, that blue variegated. So I think I'm just going to use this variegated thread to do my product. And when I'm doing a lot of different, a lot of the same product or project, I like to batch sew. I batch sew when I make masks also. So I'll just put that up there. Wind it around. Okay. Now I'm just going to go through and I am just going to just kind of clip all these edges so that there is less bulk. Voila! Now I do have a pinking shear rotary cutter blade. That makes things much easier. I wonder. I haven't ever tried it though. I should, huh? I should get it out and try it. I'm going to take it to my iron and iron it really quick, and it will erase the lines that I drew on each piece, marking the center. Friction pens are great. I got the center seam all stitched up. Now I need to fill it with rice. Maybe I should go grab a bag of rice. I don't know how many it's going to take, but we will see. Okay, I have a little funnel. Those little iron funnels. And I am just going to fill this up. Okay. Using this little funnel is a bust. I'm making a mess. Okay. So you need 1 pound of rice. So just 1 pound of rice. And then I'll just take this and I will just stitch it down. Oh, this is where my extension table will come in handy. Well, let me go ahead and grab my machine's extension table, because this one comes with one. Okay. So I'm going to use the extension table. I'm just going to kind of keep this where it needs to be while I sew it up. Okay. Rice bag. I think it turned out pretty good. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me in making part of the rice bags. So it will take like 6 inches. So if you have like a 44-inch wide fabric, you take that and you cut across the entire 44 inches. It will even work with a fat quarter too. But you cut 6 inches. So you need 6 inches width, and length you need like maybe 24-inch length or 22-inch length. Either way it works. Just depends on if you want it longer or shorter. Let's see, some of these are shorter, which the shorter ones are like 11 inches long after you fold in that edge. And the longer ones, if you use like a long fabric that's wider, you can get like 13 inches of width. And that's after folding in that amount there. And you basically are using like a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Anywho, basically, and then you just slit it in half, like you just like mark it at the halfway point. So you just use a marking pen or chalk, Taylor's chalk or whatever you want to use. You just mark it down the center, and then you sew a center seam down it. See that stitching? But you see the stitching down the center? Maybe. You just stitch it down the center, and that provides the columns that you need. And then once you fill it up, so you just need one 1-pound bag of rice per rice bag, and it works out pretty good. Thank you guys all for joining me today for day 15 of Vlogmas. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night and stay creative. Bye bye.